The global 2-year anniversary is underway for My Hero Ultra Impact, guys, and with that anniversary, we are getting a brand new Allmight. Now, originally, I was a little bit salty about this because I was like, they didn't do a new character, they didn't do new celebration characters, but I do just want to remind you that there is a chance that on the 16th, when this banner goes away, we will be getting new celebration characters. That is not guaranteed, but fingers crossed, that is hopefully what is going to happen. So, today, we're going to be taking a look at this banner with the new Allmight and trying to figure out if it is a pass or pull banner based on the SR memory, the UR memory, and of course the new Allmight. So the new SR memory is called Proposed Contract featuring All For One and Lady Nagant, and what this does is it increases character skill impact by 50% when equipped by a DST type character or a destruction type character. Also, it increases bind resistance of all allies if there are any villains on the team. Like, those are just kind of nice little effects, but you're not really ever going to need bind resist or skill impact increase without crit rate or without, action skill cooldown or something else. So overall, I don't know where you're really going to use this memory too often unless you just specifically need bind resist for some sort of event that they put out. But as of right now, other than the art, you don't really need the SR memory. And honestly, if you do just a couple of silver ticket pulls, you'll probably get this SR memory. So, I mean, if your goal is just to get this, then just only use silver tickets, but definitely don't waste hero gems to try and get this SR memory right here. I would almost never waste hero gems to go for an SR memory, no matter how cool the art is. The new UR memory art is even better, where you have Deku and his mom. It's super cute. Deku's mom being an absolute stun show, smoke show, whatever you want to call it right there, right? But it's called Little Hero, increases characters' max HP by 40% if there are any heroes on the team. After 2 turns pass, while characters' power is decreased, increases characters' power by 20% for 3 turns and critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns. Also increases characters' skill sealed resistance. So this Allmight, if you equip this to him, will be able to resist skill seals. It's really only gonna work like super well on Allmight because he decreases his own power, and in order for the effect at all to activate other than the max HP, you have to have your power decreased. So yeah, it's not the greatest memory, and so like, even though the art is amazing, right, if you're not going to get the character, it's definitely not worth getting the memory. Other than the fact that you do have max HP by 40%, you could potentially equip this to like Shoji and have it be useful because his stuff scales off of max HP, but even then, there are better max HP memories that you can get, so like, only truly go for this if you have no other max HP memories, or only go for it if you happen to get the Allmight. And last but not least, the big draw for this banner, okay? We have the new Clench Onto Hope Allmight. This is a destruction type Allmight. It is the 3rd Allmight in the game that is summonable, 4th Allmight overall because we have the yellow free to play Allmight. But other than this, we have a red and a blue type, and we have a yellow, and now this is purple. So all that will be left after this is a green type Allmight. So for this guy, his plus ultra move is called Sanford Smash. It deals 800% damage to a single opponent, inflicts some of the damage dealt to himself, gives character the ability to make a last stand 2 times, increases this skill's skill impact by 35% when character has persistence, reduces damage to character by 35% for 3 turns if character does not have persistence, and then also causes character to bleed for 8 turns, and that effect cannot be nullified or cancelled, so he's going to bleed no matter what because of his plus ultra. So yeah, he hurts himself a lot, but he gives himself last stand and reduces damage. Okay, anyways, his first action skill is called Oklahoma Smash. It deals 275% damage to all opponents with a low chance 30% of blocking the opponent's buffs for 2 turns. So that's good. It's an AoE buff block. It is only a low chance, but that's 30%. It's not terrible. Decreases opponent's critical resistance by 25% for 3 turns, which is pretty good. And then cancels all opponents' temporary max HP increasing effects, which is insanely good. So that's overall a very, very good action skill, and it has a cooldown time of 4. His action skill 2 is called Michigan Smash. It is another single target attack that does 400% damage to an opponent, It gives character the ability to make a last stand 2 times. When used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain, it will shorten character's cooldown time by 1 and increase character's plus ultra gauge by 40%. So this becomes a 3-turn cooldown, and this becomes a 4-turn cooldown, which is actually pretty good. So those are good cooldowns on Allmight. Really good cooldowns, and he gives himself plus ultra gauge raise, which is good. And he has a technical hit because it's used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain. And he gives himself last stands off of this move and this move, so he's going to be hard to kill, even though he is going to be bleeding a lot of the time and doing damage to himself with his plus ultra. Now his auto skill 1 is called Saved by Your Smile. It reduces bleeding damage to character by 50% if character does not have persistence. So at the start of battle, he doesn't have persistence. That means he's going to be reducing damage by quite a bit. And then when you stack that on top of the damage reduction you get up here, that's a lot of damage reduction, right? Okay, so that's pretty good. Increases character speed by 30% when HP is 80% or higher. So he has his own speed increase, which is solid for PvP at the start of a battle. Every 1 turn, decreases character's power by 5% up to 6 times and defense by 5% up to 6 times. So this is what I was talking about with the memory. He does decrease his own power, but then he also decreases his own defense. So it's a good thing he reduces bleeding damage to character. Oh, I thought that just said reduces damage. I apologize. So it's just bleeding damage. So it's actually not as much damage reduction as I thought, but yeah, reduces bleeding damage to character. It's a good thing he does that. And then he does the extra damage reduction up here of 35%. Otherwise, he would be getting hit quite a bit harder. So he's not as tanky as I thought he was going to be, which would have been nice, but yeah. Defense lowers by 5% up to 6 times. That's nuts. And then increases character's power by 10% after character initiates critical attacks 2 times up to 10 times, which is pretty good. That's a lot of power increase. And then after receiving 2 attacks from an opponent with higher defense, restores 35% of damage character receives for 2 turns up to 5 times. So even though he's going to have lower defense, he will be healing it back is the idea. But the question is, will he have enough max HP to actually survive those hits? Because even then, like, his HP isn't the craziest, so he could still just get 1 shot. And I guess that's where the last stands come in, but hopefully your last stands will keep him alive. And increases character. So the rest of this, where were we? After receiving 2 attacks from an opponent with higher defense, restores 35% of damage character receives for 2 turns, up to 5 times, and then increases character's defense by 10% up to 5 times. So he gets that defense back as well. So it's just like, it's really confusing, this move, because it's like, is he really losing or is he gaining? We'll have to see how it ends up working out. He's losing defense right here by 5%, but then he's gaining by 10%. So it's just, I don't know why they made it so complicated, man. This is probably one of the most complicated kits I have ever read. But overall, it seems like he's just going to break about even, maybe a little bit better than even. So there you go. He has a natural fear resist of 50%, by the way. And then for his auto skill 2, Ultimate Musclehead, when HP is below 30%, gives character piercing shot and ability to make a last stand 2 times, up to 1 time. When character has persistence, gives character the ability to cover allies, blocks character's recovery, increases character's critical hit rate by 50%, and increases character's plus ultra gauge by 100%. After 8 turns pass while the character is bleeding, gives the character persistence for 3 turns up to 1 time. The buff cannot be canceled or blocked. But then after that, the way persistence works is he will die after 3 turns. So from my understanding, I don't think you're bleeding up until you use your plus ultra, right? And then once you use your plus ultra, you bleed for 8 turns. So you got 3 turns before that, then 8 more turns. So that's 11 turns. And then at 11 turns, then you are going to enter persistence, okay? And if you can even make it up to that point, normally battles don't last that long. So at turn 11 though, you enter persistence, and after 3 more turns, so turn 12, 13, 14, then he's guaranteed to die. I think this is just such a weird kit. So why would they make a character where the idea is for him to get persistence after 11 turns, right? That is the question. Maybe, just maybe, there is going to be some new long-form content coming to the game where he is actually useful. It's hard to say, but that would be very, very cool. For that reason, it might be a pull, might be, but once again, we don't know anything. It's not guaranteed, right? So as of right now, without knowing anything, he just seems like a weird character. He doesn't really fit into any of the content that we have. And I don't really see a ton of uses for him. There's just going to be better characters. He might be a godsend character, but overall, if we do have celebration characters coming up next, when this banner ends, then this is quite obviously to me a pass banner, a skip banner. You guys should be skipping on this banner. It is a general pool Allmight. You will be able to get him later, and we might have celebration Impact Fest banners coming up. Also right now, we have the Impact Fest banner with the rerun of 3 Impact Fest characters on it and reduced pity. Like, if you're going to summon on a banner, summon on that and not on this Allmight, right? But that is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. What do you think about his kit? Honestly, one of the most confusing kits I think I've ever read through. I think he's going to be decent. Honestly, like, my overall opinion, he's going to be a decent character. I don't think he's going to be anything broken. I don't think he's going to be a necessary pull. I could eat those words later. It's hard to say. We don't really ever know until we get the characters in the game how they're going to work out. But overall for me, I would say this is a skip banner. Now, will I be summoning personally? Yes, I summon on every banner. I will go up to at least 50 pity to get the exchange points to be able to get his pieces for later on. So if you guys want to see probably a shaft, make sure you check out that video when it comes out. I will pull for the both of us, save your hero gems, and get ready for the potential of a celebration banner on the 16th when this banner ends. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.